Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
So I just watched a minute and a half interview with Deontay Wilder. And I wasn't quite sure if I was even going to be able to stomach it. But I did. And I have to give him huge props. Because everything that he said within this interview when he's talking about the franchise championship that WBC have, I agree with him. Really. So big up to Deontay Wilder. He spoke a hell of a lot of sense. And I have to give him a lot of props for saying what it is that I've been saying and many of you guys have been saying too, which is that the franchise champion, it's not really a championship because you don't have a mandatory. You don't have a world title to defend. So even if you lose, you're still the franchise championship. And for what Deontay Wilder says, it is again absolutely correct. He says that a champion should have mandatories. That's what makes a champion. Everybody else who's trying to get the world title shot needs to get themselves into a position to be the number one or the mandatory challenger and then get their shot. When it comes to Canelo and Lomachenko, they can fight whoever the hell it is that they want. That's not championship. A champion is you are told who to fight because ultimately one fighter, all fighters can look at other fighters and say, yeah, I think I can beat them, or no, maybe not, and maybe swerve those. All fighters have bogeymen, and all fighters have opponents out there, potential opponents that their team will go, not too sure about that one. But when you're a champion and you have a mandatory, you have no choice. And that's what Deontay Wilder's saying. He's saying that I like to have mandatories. So if I was offered the franchise championship, I wouldn't take it. So again, massive, big props to him. And he's correct as well when he's saying about fighters becoming the mandatory where they all fight each other in the hope to get that world title shot. Because the last thing in the world that he wants, this is Wilder, he says that I don't want an opponent of mine saying, you made me wait and blah. And again, I have to give him huge props for saying it. Yes, okay, I could go in and I could say, but ultimately, he has been champion for 5 years in January, and you're supposed to have a world title defense against your mandatory every 12 months. They can let it slide to 18 months, but no longer, but it's usually 12 months, and he's only had 2. So 5 years, only 2 mandatories, you do the math. So he hasn't really been defending against mandatories, and the 2 that he has had haven't been great, and they shouldn't have been the mandatory. And he says about fighters vying for the position. Dillian Whyte's been vying for that position for a hell of a long time, and he's still not getting his damn world title fight. He's had his mandatory position removed from him, coincidentally, and now replaced with Tyson Fury. So the WBC, these guys are complete morons. And I think Deontay Wilder, that's pretty much what it is that he is saying, but he's not going to come out and say it because obviously he's very good friends with Mauricio Suleiman. But with the things that he's saying, he's absolutely correct. And I have to commend Deontay Wilder on the things that he's saying. He's saying that he hears the fans and he believes this also, that the franchise championship is not something that interests him. And if he was offered it, he would turn it down. It doesn't suit him. He wants to have a physical bout and defend it against mandatories. So big props to Deontay Wilder. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.